as canon. I
Yeah,
feel like.
I mean, of course, that's an interesting challenge, you know, to tie everything together. But that would be my hope. I mean, certainly we've just experienced with Endgame, you know, this huge culmination of years and years and years of film and story.
Well, and even we talked yesterday about Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, and that game is going to exist the same way a film would in between Episode 3 and Rogue One. And I just think that that's such a cool and important marrying of our entertainment types.
Right.
I feel like that's so.
So I mean, there's certainly a lot of possibilities.
Pause that.
Really quickly, as we're getting ready to count down into the PC Gaming Show, Ubisoft, any thoughts? You know, I saw little Seha today was like,
there better
what are
be
you
a dance
excited
number.
for?
I was going to say, somebody better dance.
Just Dance. So I'm sure you're going to get your dance number. I'm sure little Seha is going to get a Just Dance new game. But people have been saying, hey, how about a new Splinter Cell? They said, hey, Beyond Good and Evil 2 is probably not going to be at the show. So.
Oh man, you took my joke from me. I was gonna say, hey, I'm excited for Beyond Good and Evil. Oh.
It's not going to be at the show. It's not going to be at the show.
It's okay. Well, that means you won't flip out, lose your voice, and be unable to participate.
And make videos that I had to take down.
That's right. That's right.
He got very excited about Beyond Good and Evil.
I like that. Anything you might be excited for, Ubisoft?
I want to see more of Watch Dogs 2.
Watch Dogs 3?
3, I'm sorry. Because there's speculation that it was kind of leaked information that you can take control of any NPC in the game and kind of move around as them. And that sounds very similar to Omicron, the Nomad Soul. Way back in the day, it was the same kind of thing. Take control of the NPC.
Yeah.
And then you can go in their house and take all their stuff too, or just live their life for a little bit. And I wonder if Watch Dogs does the same thing now. And that's how you operate.
What was that?
That's spooky.
By the MDK guys, where you did that, you were the baby.
What?
It's a really old PC game.
You were a baby?
You were like a baby and you took control of people and then you...
What?
Are you sure?
What?
Like a cherub. You were a cherub.
Like your experimentation years in college?
Was this on
Pretty sure this game existed, Zeke. We're going to confirm it in about a minute when the PC Gaming Show begins.
Right now.
Before we jump into the PC Gaming Show, want to remind you that
grab a drink real quick
you know,
before
feel
this
free to
gets
check
started
out some of
here.
the other co-streamers who are sharing E3 with their communities on Twitch. In addition, there's a Blacksmith extension that is constantly updating with some of the new titles that are released, announced almost immediately. So if you want to support your favorite broadcaster who is also co-streaming here on Twitch, you can do so by pre-ordering right through the Blacksmith extension. Also, just want to say thank you to everyone who's joined us here for another day of E3. Don't forget, there's 3 more days after this where we're going to be breaking down more. Yeah, so today is just the kickoff for day number 2. The PC Gaming Show is right around the corner where we've got Sean, Day 9 Plot, and Frankie Ward going to be teaming up with PC Gaming and, of course, all the great developers to bring you so much more here for E3.
Love you,
Thanks for joining us.
Love you, Frankie and John.
Day 2. This is the PC Gaming Show.
This is the PC Gaming Show, a celebration of the most vibrant gaming platform. For the next 2 hours, you'll see all new gameplay footage, trailers, and interviews. Taking the stage today are first gameplay footage for Vampire the Masquerade, Bloodlines 2, Borderlands 3, the reveal of Evil Genius 2, Starmancer, Last Oasis, 2 new games from Coffee Stain Studios, Griftlands, Planet Zoo.
I'm ready to cringe,
What's
dude. I'm
next
ready.
for
I'm just gonna grab some
Terraria?
chips and I'll be
Remnant from the Ashes, Mosaic, Warframe, Baldur's Gate 3, Shenmue 3, the reveal of Unexplored 2, El Hijo, Age of Wonders, Planetfall, and more. And now your PC Gaming Show hosts, Day 9 and Frankie Ward.
Good morning, good morning. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the PC Gaming Show. Yeah, yes. We're so happy you're here today. We have a great show for you lined up. We got 30 games that we're going to be showing off. 30. Some of them will be updates to existing franchises and titles. Others will be exclusive world first looks. Y'all ready? Well, I first want to thank our sponsors for helping make this event possible. Without their support, this event would not happen each year. So thank you so much. Thanks to you for coming out. It's 10 a.m. in Los Angeles. Happy Monday, everyone.
They said
best day of the week. Hello, all of you up in the balcony. And of course, thanks to you tuning in live from all over the internet, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, wherever you're tuning in from, welcome. We're happy to have you. My name is Day9. I'm one of your hosts for this event. Joining me is the fantastic Frankie Ward.
Hello. Maybe they're going to show off a new DayZ update too.
Now, for you guys at home, for the first
yeah,
time,
no, did you not hear about this, Golem?
We are going to be
They
putting
announced
your
it like last month.
comments.
I'm super excited for it.
Just remember that I said clever comments from Twitch, Twitter,
Planet
YouTube,
Zoo?
and Facebook throughout the show, making you famous on the internet, on the screen. We're going to be sharing them live.
Planet Coaster's
and
fun,
one of the things we're especially looking for are your questions for the Borderlands 3 team, because Sean, you've got a mission to put their questions to the developers later.
That's right. Midway through this show, I'm going to be asking those questions to the creative director of Borderlands 3.
Like, I'm not like a big, like, crazy coaster guy.
And we'll read them live.
I feel like there wasn't like enough rides to build out a park.
The PC Gaming Show with our very first title from UK developer Rebellion. Several years ago, they announced that they were working on the follow-up to Evil Genius, a real-time evil layer simulator.
And now,
Borderlands happens,
Rebellion is ready to reveal its nefarious vision for the project. So, PC Gaming Show, who's ready to stroke a cat menacingly? Here is the world exclusive reveal for Evil Genius 2 World Domination.
Hold fast, nations at war, Gollum. Monday afternoon. Wait, is it the spy game? I played this at PAX, if this is the right game.
I don't know.
Yeah, I played this at PAX. This was so much fun. Call me Kevin. Hold on. Oh. Nope. This is not what I played at PAX.
Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 is the successor to one of the most beloved RPGs ever. And with me to talk about it, I have Brian Mitsoda and Cara Ellison from Hardsuit Labs. Now, Brian, you were a writer on the very first game, so what does it mean for you to finally get to work on the sequel?
It means that a lot of people have very high expectations, and we have to meet those.
She does lots of this kind of stuff, like posts of events, esports stuff,
a look at the world's first gameplay footage.
I just don't recognize her. World exclusive.
I guess I have to be the one to tell you.
Ooh, Paradox.
Wow, there's more gameplay in this conference than the other conferences so far.
Yeah. Oh yeah, isn't this Vampire Masquerade?
You're obviously new to this whole
They said they were going to be showing some stuff.
But truth is, most of you types won't even make it a whole year. We have one rule.
This is one of those games
Don't
Doom's
break the
excited for.
masquerade.
I think Cake is too.
The city. We're all fighting over scraps here.
Welcome to the first day of the rest of your death. Having fun yet?
it mean to be a vampire in this world?
So in the Empire, what it is, it's kind of a darker version of our world, and the vampires kind of need to keep their presence secret from humanity. So the vampires are kind of staying hidden in the shadows while also needing to feed on human beings and kind of manipulating us.
How does that guy's hair not like annoy the shit out of him on like a
feeding on human beings.
Basis.
I'm getting flashbacks to last year's show. Kara, it's not just a case though of sucking blood and filling up your health meter, is it? Actually, different types of blood do different things.
That's right. So we have the resonance system, which means that essentially vampires can kind of see the emotional resonance of human beings,
it says
like
it
fear
has my name
or
almost
desire, and then they can feed on those people to like feel the same things as human beings do, to feel more kind of alive. And that can give you like extra boosts in the game.
And there were some really interesting characters in that trailer as well. What kind of relationships are we going to be forming with them as the player?
Couldn't tell I'm actually playing Borderlands.
Well, very fragile.
This
very
whole conference is just a lot of pointless talking. That's every PC gaming conference they've had for the past 3 years.
And one thing that was really intriguing to me when I was learning
sit here and
about
talk
this
about a lot of
game
technical
is
stuff
you don't just
than,
get
like,
bitten
actually, like,
and turn
showing
into
stuff.
Nosferatu, Dracula, or Brad Pitt. And to be honest, I think you should maybe put
It's like an actual talk show.
Because then I'm definitely playing it. You actually have to adjust to your environment.
So you could watch for like 2 minutes and then black out for like 10 until the next.
In the game, when you were made as a vampire, sort of very young vampire, a lot of other vampires are made at the same time.
That's cool to have that information, but they drag out each
and
game
that
a
means
little
that,
too long.
Essentially, they're having a less lucky time than you in the world. You're having a relatively good time compared to them because they don't know what they're doing. They're going through vampire puberty on their own, and you might have a family, you might have, say, a wife and children, and you are morally objecting to drinking blood to survive, and so you might have a less good time, let's say, than the player is having. So you can find them throughout the world as well.
And Brian, the first game came out in 2004. You've been waiting 15 years for this. Any pressure?
Yeah, tons of pressure. But yeah, we're going to make it worth it.
Well, you know what? I think there are people around the world watching this, and of course the audience here, and they all can't wait to play this game. Can you wait, guys? There you go. So I think you've convinced everyone here now. When are we going to be able to play the game?
We're going Q1 next year.
Fantastic. And when can we learn more?
Bloodlines2.com.
Oh yeah, that person who was freaking out at Bethesda last night, or one of them,
Give it up, guys.
is actually a streamer.
Oh, okay.
Now,
who
have you ever wanted to play
said in a
Dwarf
tweet like
Fortress
that was him,
in space?
and
Star
he was like
Mancer
super
is
excited to be
a
there.
space station sim
Kind of
from
thing.
Omnimax Games and Chucklefish. After a catastrophe on Earth, humanity
Or
has
one of the
launched
people
a
freaking out,
desperate
like, yelling
attempt
and
to
all
find
that.
refuge among the stars.
Big cringe
Your
fest right
task
now,
is to
Pat.
manage a colony capable of sustaining life,
What's new,
crafting
though?
components, controlling colonists, and
Well, it
sending
was
out
either
crews
like
to
somebody
mine
that was
asteroids.
paid a dev, or
But
that
when you're
actually
living
makes
in
sense.
space, there can be big consequences for even the smallest mistakes. Let's take a look at the brand new gameplay for Star
Who
Wars.
is the streamer? Do you know?
I could go back to Twitter and look because DM replied to them. That's the only reason why I knew about it. I think it was a streamer anyway, or someone like in the community.
Grow your colony.
Hello, Gregothy. It was Nelstar. Is his Twitter handle.
What was his name?
Nelstar 15.
Nelstar 15.
Yeah, influencer relations 505 games, partner of the Elder Scrolls Online, sponsored by a couple of places. Yeah.
Huh. Those look neat. It's like 2.5D FTL.
Our next guests. Both started
Why are
as
there
modders.
What is the
And now,
what is the
they
like design
each
of the stage
independently
right
run
now?
their
Why are
own
there
studio.
fucking like
Let's welcome to the stage from
carved
Tripwire,
out
John Gibson, and from Torn Banner, Steve Piggott.
What do you mean?
Hey, Sean.
I need something to stand on.
nothing says PC
Now I
gaming
understand.
like stone
Both you
people.
started as modders, working independently, and running your own studio. Talk to me about the collaboration that you started together.
Yeah, Steve. So we've known the Torn Banner guys for a long time, even giving them some advice when they were modders, going commercial, helping them not make the mistakes that we made.
Interesting.
And we've been friends, and we've
shit on
always
by
wanted to work together. And now we've sort of formed this independent former mod team, professional super group to get an awesome game out to fans.
Chat, Chivalry 2, that's called Mordhau.
As well. We've always been really close with Tripwire, and we really respect their games. We see them as one of the few studios that's bringing true innovation to the FPS genre, and that's what we're all about as well.
I mean,
Let's take a look at this upcoming collaboration between Torn Banner and Tripwire.
Wait, they're actually making Chivalry 2? I thought that was a joke.
No, like next to their name it said Chivalry 2.
I didn't see that.
That's why I said, wait, Chivalry 2? That's why I said that.
Why?
You go first. It's your chicken.
This is going on. You're uninstalling PC games while watching PC gaming? Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
I have a whole 4 terabyte hard drive I have yet to use. And it's been in my PC since Christmas.
I only have half a terabyte. Feels bad, man.
Feels bad.
I did order another half a terabyte. This is just Chivalry 1. Except looks better.
I'm unarmed. God. I think that's the only part of that trailer I liked. That final scene.
Talk to me about Chivalry 2, Steve.
Well, Chivalry 2 is about bringing players into their favorite medieval movie
Greg,
battle
I have
scenes.
drop frames
And
up on my other monitor.
flagship game mode Team Objective does
Only
that
because Baru's
by
on
having
it?
players complete medieval
Whoa.
objectives like
Don't actually
sieging
like the
castles,
podcast. What's
raiding
wrong with you?
villages.
Only
and,
because I want to.
and
I'm gonna turn the
you're
audio on.
You're not just
when
going and
Borderlands
standing in
3
an
stuff comes
area
up.
and then a bar fills up. You're, like you said, burning houses, killing peasants, you know, playing as peasants, getting killed.
It's really about letting the player experience
I'm
every
watching a
iconic moment
restream, so
of
it's
the
a little
era.
behind.
And on top of that, we've
I'm
this
watching
time around
the
we've increased the player
PC
count
Gamer
scale to about
stream.
2.5 times what the previous game was, the 64 players. And on top of that increased scale, we've added horses, which really allows us to add a lot of
they
drama
added
to the game
horses.
and bring experiences like the Battle of the Bastards from Game of Thrones.
Horses?
Don't worry, we'll ignore the last season. Just Battle of the Bastards is going to be in the game.
Yes.
All right, so I want to ask about the swordplay element to Chivalry 2. I mean, I know it's a really critical element.
Yeah, and this time around we've completely
Damn, that
revamped,
was
and we
funny.
really view what we're doing here as bringing a true sequel in every
Job
sense.
making fun of Game of Thrones.
We've
There,
attempted to
PC
completely
gamer show.
revamp the combat, movement, and
Battle of the
animation
Bastards
systems
is a good episode,
so that
though.
every
Oh, they said
win,
they'd ignore the last
every
season.
action of the combat feels readable
You know,
and fair, and
it's
also has the
unanimously shit,
satisfaction
so.
of and the weight
Yeah,
that you would expect
there were
when
parts
two
of it that I
medieval knights
enjoyed,
in full
but
armor are
overall,
clashing.
it was meh
Yeah, and
at best.
It's very, very fluid and much more accessible than the previous game. And it's, you know, the pace is so much quicker. It was what I really enjoy when I'm playing it.
Yeah, and I wanted to ask about the fluidity, because in a lot of melee combat games, you hit a button and there's like a full animation swing and then you sort of reset. So it's kind of these discrete, chunky times. I understand that in Chivalry 2, the swordplay operates differently than that.
Yeah, we kind of think of it like when you're swimming, where you're kind of constantly using both arms at the same time. And a core part of our focus this time around has been making it so that players can fight multiple opponents at the same time.
Like 1-on-3, 1-on-4 situations?
Exactly, because that's fundamentally part of the becoming the ultimate warrior fantasy and achieving glory on the battlefield.
Well, I mean, I do have to ask, I'm talking about swordplay and mastery, but the original Chivalry, I mean, it's kind of like silly fun. Like, how do you balance the mastery with the fun element?
Yeah, our goal has always been to make it so that players can take the game as seriously as they want to and also as silly as they want to. We know that probably about half our audience plays the game drunk, And we love that.
At least half.
Yeah.
That's an important metric to track.
And the game has a huge influence from Monty Python as well. I mean, in the over-the-top voiceovers and the role-playing opportunities. I mean, the game is genuinely hilarious.
Wish you could be in
As
Discord
an
right now.
example, you can beat a man with a chicken while quoting Shakespeare.
Like picking up a chicken as a weapon.
Physically.
You'll be here for the Ubisoft one, right?
Excellent. Well, I mean, I have to ask, when can people get their hands on Chivalry 2?
So Chivalry 2 is coming out
I'll be for like 15,
early
20 minutes of that. Then I'm off
and it's
to work.
coming first to the Epic Games Store.
Big sad.
Oh, look forward to
made
checking
sure
it
I
out
got-
early 2020. Gentlemen, John Gibson and
Oh,
Steve
that
Piggott
sucks.
with Chivalry 2. Thank you so much.
I was expecting to get the day
We
shift
are
today, not
just
tonight.
getting started
the
here at
evening.
the PC Gaming Show. Let's
So,
take a look at what's coming
That's
up
why I
next.
didn't bother booking something off.
I think Chivalry 2's dead already.
Watching the PC Gaming
Wait, oh,
Show.
that was Chivalry 2? Oh, sorry.
Not
yeah,
only is it released,
Coming up.
not only is Mordhau already
Feel the
exists, but it's
world
based
for
on the Epic
wildlife
Games
in
Store.
Planet Zoo.
So
From the creators of
I
Darksiders,
don't think
Remnant
it's a good
from the
combination
Ashes,
there.
Baldur's Gate 3, and more trailers, interviews, and gameplay footage.
I love Day 9. I just wish that...
The scripting.
Oh my god, it's powered by the Epic Games Store. Oh, blobs.
Bada boom.
Blip blop.
Dang, that's a lot of blobs. How far in the future are we now?
Greg, I just got a new bada boom.
Yo, this is a sad man. Look at all those umbrella people. You should go say hi to them.
Hard spawn grid. Oh, I know what I'm downloading.
Mosaic.
That was a brand new trailer for Mosaic, a dark and atmospheric adventure game coming later
That
this
seems
year
kinda
from
neat.
developer
That
Killbyte
thigh
and
gap,
publisher
damn,
Raw
right?
Fury.
Yo, I'm so
So
excited
how
for
are you
playing
guys
Zoo.
enjoying it so far?
You might
There's been
cop?
some
What?
swords, some space stations, vampire
Yeah, I guess you won't
puberty.
make it for the Ubisoft
We're
one,
listening to your reactions to the PC Gaming Show throughout the entire broadcast, no matter what platform you're watching and ranting on, so keep them coming. Our next
I'll
game
fill
is a
you in with
ghost-themed
Watch Dogs 3.
multiplayer
That's really the only
hide-and-seek
thing they're
game
gonna be showing off
inspired
that
by
I'm
a
interested
popular
in.
mod. Charge up your proton packs and get ready for Midnight Ghost Hunt.
I'm still sad I'm missing squares today.
Oh,
But I'm glad I'm gonna be around for Nintendo tomorrow. Cause I'm off tomorrow, so like hell yeah.
So skeptical about that Avengers games, guys. You guys don't understand how bad Square is at real-time combat.
Well, no, like I'm not like I want to see what it's gonna be about. I'm interested in it, but
Ah, that makes no sense.
no way I'm gonna get it before I hear about it or see gameplay.
Is this a Ghostbusters game?
Yes. Or that's what they said something about Ghostbusters anyway.
Wait, is this prop hunt kind of thing?
Ghostbusters prop hunt.
Oh, shit.
Wait, is it like a 1v4 Ghostbuster type prop hunt game?
That seems kind of neat.
Just get killed by a fucking plant.
Midnight Ghost Hunt. I'll sign up for that.
Yeah, I'm down to play that.
Joining me on
Alright,
the
we got 10 minutes till the
stage
next
to
game
talk
now.
about Midnight Ghost Hunt is the dynamic one-man team. Creative director, programmer, designer, it's Sam Malone!
Thank you for having me.
Sam, please tell us what is going on in that. What is Midnight Ghost Hunt all about?
So Midnight Ghost Hunt is a multiplayer ghost hunting hide-and-seek game.
That looks neat.
You can play either as ghosts or ghost hunters, like a 4v4 format.
I see.
The ghosts can hide inside average everyday objects around the haunted house. The goal is to look like harmless furniture, but on the inside, they're not so harmless ghosts as you saw.
Yeah, and if I'm understanding correctly, it's not about hiding as a lamp to try to assault and take out a hunter. It's actually, you would do that so that way you can keep running away and continue to hide.
Exactly. So the main objective of the ghosts is to try to stay hidden as long as they can until the time runs out, until the clock strikes midnight. Midnight being kind of the hour of the ghosts, basically. They can fight back if they like, but in general, they want to try to hide. But if there's a hunter kind of off by himself, he can quickly just hit him in the back of the head and knock him out real quick, and he has less hunters to deal with at that point.
I see. Well, what's the identity of the hunters? I mean, when seeing furniture flying all over the place, what are the hunters doing?
So the hunters, it kind of can be
Maybe this will bring
divided
vaccine
into two different
enters,
segments. The first
Big
part of the
sad.
game is kind of almost like a detective game because they're sort of trying to figure out where the ghosts are hiding.
I love
It's
this
not
prop
really
hunt videos.
obvious at first glance.
Same.
So they've got gadgets
And
like a footprint
TTT
tracker, they've got
and
like a
all that.
radar like you saw, to try to narrow down where in the haunted house these ghosts are hiding, basically. As soon as the first ghost is found, though, it starts getting a bit more chaotic. There's ragdolls flying everywhere, and they have that cannon to really try to smash the ghosts into pieces. So those are kind of the two aspects of the ghosts.
I see. Well, talk to me a little bit about the inspiration for Midnight Ghost Hunt. I understand it's based on Gary's mod called Prop Hunt.
Right, so that's definitely a big inspiration, but the big twist for us is that the props fight back. You saw the furniture, they hurl themselves at you, they knock you out, they send you flying. So it kind of almost becomes like
it kind of
this
seems like a
action
mix
hide-and-seek
between the
sort of
hidden and
mashup.
prop
You
hunt.
have a
Just-
reason to
yeah,
be
a
a
little
little bit
mod
afraid
mod.
of the
Gary's
things that you're
mod
hunting. So
mod.
that changes up the dynamic a good amount, I think.
And I want to ask about when the clock strikes
Have
midnight.
you
We
seen
saw
a
the very
ghost?
spooky red color pop up. We
Sorry.
didn't see what happens then. What's going on there?
So midnight, if even one ghost
Yo, what's with all these
survives
people
4
saying
minutes
yes?
into the match,
You fucking
then,
liars.
you hear this ominous grandfather clock chime across the map. All the lights will actually flicker out. It'll get really dark and scary.
Spooky
and all
red
the ghosts
color.
that were
It's
destroyed
spooky.
actually return as vengeful spirits. They're a lot more powerful than before, and they glow a very brilliant red. So at this point, the tables have turned. The hunters are now the hunted, and they just need to try to work together to stay alive long enough for their evac to come, which is another 4 minutes or so. Usually the ghosts win when it gets to midnight.
Are you talking about like 90% of the time?
Like
they'll wind up
90,
something
yeah,
like
usually
that?
because the ghosts are so overpowered at midnight.
Right.
The hunters are doing whatever they can to try to prevent
This would be
midnight
a
from even
fun game
occurring
to play in
by destroying
houses.
all of the ghosts and clearing the house, basically.
Well, awesome. When can people get the chance to try out Midnight Ghost Hunt?
So we'll be running an alpha event later in the summer. You can sign up at
Site's probably already
midnightghosthhunt.com.
crashed.
I'd also like to give a shout out to
I
our Discord.
got the sign up already.
discord.gg/midnightghosthunt.
Yep.
Later in the summer, we'll be giving out keys on our Discord as well as on our main website.
Well, wonderful. Ladies and gentlemen, Sam Malone from Vaulted Sky Games. For our next title, we got Frankie Up in the Balcony, and if I understand correctly, Frankie, this is a sequel.
You do understand correctly, Sean, yes. It's a big sequel to a small indie game. Unexplored 2 is a procedural adventure, a roguelike that challenges you to fight, to be clever, and to solve its mysteries. Explore a beautiful world, engage with its creatures, and befriend its people.
Super great. He's
Search
getting
for
old,
magic
dude.
lakes and ancient
All right, I'll
statues
remind you. Hey,
until
Google.
you die. And
Remind
die
me at
again,
8 p.m. to
which
tell
is
Pat to sign up
Unexplored 2.
for Midnight Ghost Hunter.
Yeah, their email sign up page is broken.
Is it really? Dude, I
Yep.
got that super quick.
Wait, they're using MailChimp? MailChimp?
This looks cute. Oh no, he's gonna get. Oh, I thought he was gonna get pushed off the ledge. Oh, he did. Yeah, same here. Dude, simple art like this is so hard to make, like, compelling, too. Oh, that's a big face.
One of the biggest bang for your buck that you can get when building a new rig is investing in a new monitor. And here to talk about a groundbreaking new display is Samsung's Dean Dalcero. Welcome, Dean. What you got for us?
Oh boy.
Samsung C27 RG5 curved gaming monitor.
Well, let's take a look.
Of course, PUBG.
That's gonna be a big yawn from me, sir. $1,500R. Yo, look how smooth.
Why is there a
Does it
trailer
have,
for a fucking monitor?
Does it have, because this is PC gaming, man. Does it even have HDR though?
I'll bring it back.
I mean, at this point, if you're gonna make me spend $700 for a monitor, it better have HDR.
And I gotta start asking. Talk to me about some of those juicy features.
JP's chat is just all nay.
240 hertz curved gaming panel. We believe it's a world first. So you have lag-free and tear-free performance. And we think that
is there really not a 240 FPS curved
a very immersive experience
monitor? Really?
Flat panel.
And I wanted to ask a little bit about some of the color specs.
Sure, it's a 3,000:1 contrast ratio, so you get those deeper blacks, brighter whites, and hopefully you'll see your enemies first before they see you in the dark scenes.
Yeah, and I understand it also has G-Sync. I saw that flash up on the screen as well.
First G-Sync compatible monitor, so we're super excited about that.
Well, since this is the PC gaming show and we're showing off a huge variety.
That's what I'm
of games
asking.
here, what are
He's
the
like,
types
you're
of
making me
games that you
spend
would expect
$700 for a
240
monitor.
hertz
But
refresh
I'm
rate and the G-Sync
expecting
work well with.
$700 for
So
a
we think
monitor.
everybody's going to appreciate the speed and the performance, but ultimately, esports first-person shooters are really going to.
Yeah, but how much does it cost?
Well, of course, I have to ask. Not just when is it available, but what type of cost are we talking?
Sure. So it'll be available in mid-July for under $400.
Wow, that's actually not terrible.
So it expands our gaming lineup to 8 models. Yeah.
Because when you said 400, I mean that's the 27-inch is the $400 model. Wow.
Yeah. So our gaming lineup
That's actually not
to 8
terrible.
models, ranging from 24 all the way up to a 49-inch dual QHD. Check out Samsung.com/gaming240.
That's really not
We'll see
bad.
this in the back of the room for more info.
Yeah, that's right. For any of you in the audience, it's there. You can go there for it.
Yeah, that's
It is
way,
not
way
4K.
cheaper
Not
than
for that price point.
Well, I want to let you know.
did he
that
just
we
make
have
an
all
HDR
sorts of
joke
great
and he said not for that
presentations and
price
games
point?
Coming up. Let's look at what's coming up in the PC gaming show.
Stay tuned for more announcements, trailers, and never-before-seen footage, including Gearbox answers burning questions about Borderlands 3, the next game from Clay Entertainment. Get ready to rip the galaxy a new
I want more Clay
wormhole
stuff.
in Valfaris.
No, I need more Borderlands.
Sorry. Los Polos Dos, my dude.
And now the PC
No, Los
Gaming
Polos
Show
Hermanos.
presents What's Next from Funcom.
Who is this?
Hello,
Someone from
everyone.
Funcom.
Thanks for the warm applause.
Yo, you guys hurt my
It's very
feelings. with
exciting
Secret
for all of
World.
us at Funcom to be here at the PC Gaming
Oh,
Show
yeah.
for the very first
You guys
time
hurt
ever.
my feelings. Funcom
And
made great
naturally,
MMOs.
we would like to
I had
show
a very
some of the cool
I had
stuff that we've been working
temptation
on.
to go back to play it.
So, without further
But
ado,
I remember
here
what
are
they
some
did
of
to
the
it.
games
I was like,
coming
nope.
for
It's not good.
2019.
It's not good.
They're already having a DLC for this?
All across the zone.
Near Zero Seed Evil.
Until now.
Yo, that's a big moose. Oh, ew. Good.
It's basically
I never got into these types of
XCOM type
games.
A lot's happened
I like
since you've been
XCOM.
traveling.
I never played this
You
one.
could use your skills.
Yo, that's a big ass
Stalkers
duck over
got
there.
each other's backs, right? What happens to you happens to me.
Do you feel like that big moose head gets in like the way of like taking cover?
Yes. Full cover for any other person, it's half cover for him. Oh yeah, what were your thoughts on the Blair Witch game?
Something I'm not gonna play.
Same.
Absolutely nothing about it. So,
horror games are hard for me, man. I don't enjoy playing them. The only horror game that I
like action horror games.
Well, the only horror game I actually liked was Outlast, and that's because I liked the story for it. I felt like the game
was good. The gameplay was bad.
Yeah, it was really bad.
It's just run past the enemy's forehead. Not
Please
scary.
welcome to the stage.
The story was really that's the thing, is that I wasn't playing it for the horror aspect. I was playing it because the actual world and story was interesting. I even actually played the DLC for it too.
So yeah, at Funcom we've been doing our own games for over 26 years now. But recently we had the great pleasure to be working with some other very talented developers and help them publish their games. And on that note, I'd like to introduce Phil Mace. He is founder of Mighty Kingdom, a studio out of Australia, who has been working with us on something a little different.
Thank you, Natasha. So on April 1st this year, we put out a little trailer for something called Conan Chop Chop. And,
that's a good point that Tanner just made in the Discord.
That people decided that was an April Fool's joke. So yeah.
Do we have alpha and pre-beta males?
It's alpha?
You're such
pre-beta.
Such a pre-beta male. It's post-alpha.
Wait, what is this?
It's Conan. What do you mean? Oh.
Zelda-ish game.
Yeah. A roguelike Zelda-ish game.
Looks kind of fun, actually.
Did Cyanide and Happiness make a Conan game? What the fuck?
Did you guys get a chance to play the Cyanide and Happiness VR?
I played for a bit.
It was kind of wonky fun.
It was weird. It was really weird.
Conan Chop Chop. Okay.
So there you have it, Conan Chop Chop. It's a roguelike action-adventure game. It's very
Man,
real.
I really wish
and it's
Risk of
coming
Rain was
to
more
PC, Xbox One, PlayStation 4,
roguelike.
and Nintendo Switch on September 3rd this
Cake
year.
in
It's 2019.
pub. I want to hear about Daddy Frank though.
Here at E3 at our demo room, so if you want to give Stick Figure Conan a try, then please don't hesitate to drop by. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
He just fucking rhymed.
Last Oasis is a nomadic survival game set in a
That was sick.
post-apocalyptic future where
Okay,
the Earth has
you know
stopped
one thing that I
rotating.
really hate
The
about
last
these
humans need to
low-budget
outrun the blazing
conferences
sun in massive open
is that
world
they
environments.
constantly
Good
move
times.
the hosts
But cheer up,
around to make the
Sunshine.
stage look
This is one of the
bigger.
most original-looking
I fucking
multiplayers
hate
we've
it.
seen, with interesting
Yeah.
ideas underneath. A player-driven economy
water.
and
I'm
some
sad now.
truly incredible death machines. Coming to early access on Steam on July 15th.
They kind of
Let's
tried to
take a
do
trip
that at the
to
Overwatch
Last
League Grand
Oasis.
Finals when they were at Barclays. And it's like, Barclay is such a huge fucking arena already. Why are you moving people around? It's way more like you notice it more when you're in the stage. Is this a Guns of Icarus style game? Because I'm fucking down. Oh, no, never mind.
No, Atlas probably flopped, so it's the same company maybe making a new game. I don't know. I'm just making a joke about that, but apparently not a good one.
What is this? This looks kind of neat.
I want to know how these things work.
Yeah, I agree with you, Pat. I am really sick of seeing early access shit being shown off here. But that's like PC gaming in general, though, is it's like a lot of that shit. It's that games as a service problem that I think the industry is plagued with right now. And we were talking a little bit about it earlier in the chat with like game streaming, is that you're gonna see like not only are the games gonna be a service, but the fucking platforms you play them on are gonna be a service. Alright, can you like have the game like not upside down so I can read what it is? Last Oasis, okay. Alright. That's a terrible design logo right there. I do want to look that up though. The idea of it sounded neat.
I'm getting a Civ vibe.
I mean, I'm fine with there being a competitor to Civ. Even though Civ is just constantly pumping out like really neat expansions. I'm not sure if you saw the latest one.
Yeah, well, the last one I saw it was the Canadian.
Oh, Civ 6 dropped I forget what it's called, but they dropped like a bunch of new like world stuff. So they added like plagues to the game now. And they also added a lot of like world stuff. They added like climate change to the game. So like late game, if you have too many factories, you'll actually like raise the tides of the water, and like coastal cities can get wiped out.
Oh shit, that's actually cool.
Yeah, it is really neat.
Strategy game.
But yeah, no, the last thing I saw was like the Canadian leader being added. Sir Alfred Donald.
Fucking hockey rinks is their unique building.
Wait, is it actually?
Yeah, it is.
Shit, I need this now.
Just give us the gist of what Age of Wonders Planetfall is all about.
I need that now.
Age of Wonders is a turn-based strategy game where you play as one of the survivors of a shattered galactic empire. At the start of the game, you choose or create your own faction. Yeah. And they include the Vanguard Expeditionary Forces, who are in cryosleep when everything went to hell. There's scavenging cyborgs, or the Amazon bioengineers who ride dinosaurs into battle.
Yeah. You know, I want to ask, because there's a pretty broad range of 4X strategy games. To give a sense of what the gameplay is, I just want to start from the beginning of a game. What happens when you first land on the planet?
Well, each race has their own spaceship. The spaceship comes down onto the planet. The planet is where the entire game takes place. And that spaceship will then transform into your capital colony, where your entire empire begins, your sort of attempt to take over the world. Around you, you've got a number of sectors, and each of these sectors has a little story. Well, not most of them. So maybe you'll find a genetics lab, which is still full of horrible mutant creatures, an entertainment complex overrun by horrible robot monsters, a temple with holes in the sky and horrible demons who come and get you.
And I did see in the trailer dinosaurs with lasers, correct?
Dinosaurs with lasers.
Perfect.
Well, cats with lasers. No, sorry, no cats with lasers.
I'm so sorry to disappoint all of you. No cats with lasers. You have to settle with dinosaurs. You know, I saw the expansive tech tree show up in the game briefly, and I know that growing resources and tech is a huge part of strategy games. How does that function?
Right, so part of these tech trees come from your origin race. They sort of represent the past of where you came from. They include new units, new modules for your units, like jetpacks for your troopers, orbital laser cannons you can launch from space, social doctrines, all about war.
And you got 10 minutes.
The second part of your tech tree comes from your secret technology, and that's all about the future of your faction. So you can create like a combination between man and machine, or man and computers.
Yeah.
Others include doomsday technologies that allows you to infect the entire population with alien brain-eating parasites, or win the game by splitting space-time.
I love how many details you're giving me of the horrors that await on the planet.
The future is not a pretty place.
Well, I want to ask about some of the combat that we saw, because in a lot of strategy games, the combat can be very brief. It just, shows two armies pinging off each other. But I understand that the tactical layer is quite rich.
Right, so when combat starts, you'll see, like on the world map, maybe like a little sort of space lab or something like that. When you go into combat, you will zoom all the way in, and you will be inside the lab. You'll see all the pipes and all the goops floating around. All of your units which you've been putting together and built are now deployed. In turn-based combat, you can move them into cover, use your abilities, shoot laser cannons. cannons. Maybe you've chosen Advanced. You've got like a bunch
I mean,
of
how many
space
people are
forces,
watching
little
right now?
metal suits,
You have
big holes
almost
in the ground,
200,000
shoot from
people
the-
watching
the hole.
right now.
Maybe you've chosen the Kirko, sort of horrible alien bug monsters. They run forwards and slash people and puke acid on them. That kind of thing.
I mean, how long do some of these battles wind up lasting?
It depends. A short battle can be maybe 2 or 3 minutes, but at the end of the game, you know, you've got a massive siege with like 20 units on your side, 20 units on their side. You've got orbital cannons blasting holes in the world, and that can maybe take 30 minutes.
Well, talk to us about when we can play the game.
Okay, the game is due this August 6th. It's going to be available on PC, multiple platforms, consoles, and it's available for pre-order now.
Well, lovely. Hey, what's that URL?
It's aow-planetfall.com.
Well, I'm looking forward to it.
That
Less
is a
than 2
really
months away.
confusing
Gentlemen,
URL,
thanks so
and
much
I
for joining me
already
up on
forgot
stage.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Bye-bye, guys.
Thank you for sharing the horrors of the future. And for our next game, Frankie, I have to ask you, what year is it?
Why? The year is 1946, Sean, my dear boy. Europe lies in ruins torn apart by the satanic Plan Z. A brave band of heroes cast their fury into hell, but little do they know,
Oh, no,
the
they're doing
nightmare is far from over. Achtung! This is the world-exclusive reveal of the next shooter from the makers of Sniper
Is it
Elite
another
4.
Sniper Elite game?
Yo,
How
who
long did they
keeps
rehearse
buying
that?
these games, man? I don't know a single person that has bought a Sniper Elite
Rated M for
recently.
mature.
The first 2 were fun, and then it kind of got.
Sniper Elite VR. It's actually a thing.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Don't you lie.
Did you see
Wait.
that they did a HD remake of the original Sniper Elite, but nothing really changed?
Is this the Zombie Army 2 one?
Hey, Mark.
What?
There you go.
What?
Look in the pub.
Oh my god.
Are you kidding me? Wait.
There's a part of me that thinks that it might be interesting, but it's a third-person game. I don't know how that's gonna work.
Didn't they already have a zombies for Sniper Elite?
Yeah,
They did, yes.
What is this?
This is number 2, though.
Yeah, it's Sniper Elite.
Wasn't it really bad though?
Yes, it was.
I mean, I'm gonna be fair here. It's a sniper game. Why the fuck am I gonna fight zombies? That doesn't make any sense in my mind.
Just die.
Come on, let's go.
I feel like a flamethrower is the worst weapon to fight zombies with.
Yeah. They just catch fire and just keep walking to
Yeah.
you. And catch you.
Yeah. What game are you talking about? No, we're talking kind of about this one. But he was talking about Sniper Elite VR being a thing. It's Zombie Army Dead War 4?
What?
There were 3 other ones?
Yeah, oh yeah, there were. They made a trilogy of them too. A trilogy remaster, I think.
JRPGs.
Epic Game Store, by the way.
For Warframe.
Well, if you didn't
A
notice, this
surreal
whole
war
conference is
adventure
sponsored by the
set
Epic Games
before,
Store.
during, and after the Big Bang. Baldur's Gate 3.
What was Tanner
and
talking
more.
about? Tanner was talking about something? It's just Chef and Greg in here.
For nearly
Have you heard someone say
100
something?
years, the root have ravaged the earth. An unending assault without reason. We are victims to a hatred that we do not understand. This evil will consume our world and the countless worlds beyond. Unless you rise to meet it. A trial by fury and blood.
What is this? Is this Destiny?
Isn't this like Absolver, Devolver or something game? Oh no.
I think I've seen it before. What is this?
Good. Steam.
Hmm?
Oh, I was looking across the bottom. It said Steam, so.
Oh shit, there's no Epic Game Store Arc launcher, excuse me.
To talk about
Wait, that's still a thing?
In that trailer, we got the chance to see so
I thought that
much
died, like-
new gameplay footage and new environments. Let's
How
welcome
long
the
ago?
CEO of Gunfire Games, David Adams.
Gunfire Games.
So David, I want to ask right away, for those who are unfamiliar with Remnant from the Ashes, what kind of game is it?
So Remnant's a co-op action shooter set on an apocalyptic Earth and across a bunch of cool fantasy worlds.
And I mean, in that trailer, we got the chance to see a huge variety of different environments. Like, what are these different places? Who's the player in this story?
So as a player, you're on sort of a Odyssey-like quest to save the world, and we really wanted to have a bunch of different cool locales that you go to just to experience a bunch of different stuff. And you start on Earth, but it rapidly changes very quickly as you get into the game.
And one thing that we've talked about before is that replayability is a huge focus of the game, that you could play through it 10 times and still be seeing new bosses, new monsters, new locations. How exactly does that work?
Yeah, I think one of the coolest features of the game is the dynamic generation system. So we generate the maps, the enemies, the quests, NPCs, bosses, everything.
You've built those all by hand, right?
Yeah, it's all hand scripted, but the system takes all the pieces and stitches it together. So you might play the game and come into work and say, hey, I talked to a giant tree and fought a dragon boss, and I'll be like, I met a guy in a helicopter, an old guy in a helicopter, and killed a tree ant. And we'd have completely different experiences playing the same game.
And you just have to keep going through and eventually explore what all the possibilities are.
Yeah, you can play the game over and over again to see the stuff. You can jump into your friend's world to experience the content in their world, and that's a big part of the game, just jumping in and seeing what you get.
Well, I want to ask about loot, which is, I understand, a big part of the game. How does it function alongside this ever-shifting gameplay experience?
Yeah, the loot in the game is all legendary items, and it's tied into the dynamic generation. So if you fight a boss or meet an NPC or get a cool, unique side quest, it generally coincides with a cool, unique item. It might be a boss weapon or a magical item or armor. So if you play the game and you get all completely different events, you'll have different equipment than I have.
And in the trailer, I also saw that
Which is
there
what I
were
would
3
do.
people
Yeah, I
walking
don't
through
know.
these, and you mentioned the co-op experience. How does co-op function in the world?
So the game's
I know, I
full
don't like
co-op
go to
from
work
beginning
and
to
talk
end. You
about
can jump in at any
games
point,
that I've
and the
been
game's
playing.
definitely slower
Maybe
paced,
that's
more
just because
difficult.
I don't work.
I mean, you will die a lot in this game.
People
so
like that.
Awesome.
There's a huge advantage to bringing your friends
My
to come in
coworkers
there
love
and help you
fucking
take
talking
down
about
bosses
Fortnite,
or
though.
fight off different events or just generally progress through the world.
Yeah, well,
That's
I mean,
the one
as a big
thing
fan
me
of
and my coworkers all agree
Bloodborne
on.
and Dark
That's a
Souls, I'm really
shit
looking
thing.
forward to Remnant from the Ashes. What's the release date, and where can people go for more information?
So Remnant's coming out August 20th on
awesome.
PC and Xbox and PS4. And if you pre-order the game now, you can actually get in early and start playing the game August 16th.
Well, awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, David Adams from Gunfire Games. Thanks so much for talking to us about Remnant. And as we mentioned earlier, keep those questions coming. I will be asking
Day9's getting
on
so
stage the
old,
creative
man.
director of Borderlands 3 everything you want to know. Doesn't matter what platform you're on, just use hashtag PCGamingShow. And until that time, let's talk about our next title. This one was announced 2 years ago at the PC Gaming Show here. It's a game from Clay Entertainment called Griftlands. It's changed quite a bit in the last 2 years. It's now a deck-building roguelike where you don't just fight, but you also negotiate your way through a broken-down sci-fi world. It's going to be available on the Epic Game Store in one short month on July 11th in alpha. Let's take a look at some of the footage of what you'll be playing.
You mean what I won't be playing?
What is this?
It's a deck building game.
Deck building roguelike.
Did you see that thrilling gameplay there?
Damn, that looked. It looked.
Yeah, the art is well. That's Clay in general. Clay has like a super interesting art styles in like all of their games, man.
Did they not make the Banner whatever games?
No, Clay made Don't Starve and Oxygen Not Included.
So that art style looked a lot like that, the Banner Lord or whatever games.
You know, Clay's one of my favorite developers just for like their unique take on like,
Planet
art
Zoo
styles
is
and
the
stuff.
latest game from the makers of the brilliant Planet Coaster. Please
Man, I would-
welcome Piers Jackson and Lisa
I
Lawrence
wouldn't mind
from
the
Frontier
Epic Games
Development.
Store so much if they
Now,
just
Piers, what
made it
Planet Zoo are
better.
we going to be running here?
So Planet Zoo is a new management sim game from us. It involves you
I don't
I've
even
gotten
care.
one game on it,
after a
and that's
modern
it.
zoo, and you get to
I
look
just
after the most
want like
authentic
cloud
animals we
saves
believe
and
you're gonna see
maybe
in the
an
video game.
overlay that works.
Each of our animals are unique. They have their own needs, their own desires, and their own behaviours.
That's all I really
They
care
interact
about.
with each other
And the ability to buy
react
more than
the
one game at a
world
fucking
you
time.
build around them. And today, for the very first time, we're really excited to show everyone here our gameplay video.
Yes,
and to
let me
announce our
see.
launch date.
Well, fantastic. Let's
Let me
buy the
see.
world's largest family pass and take a look inside.
What are we looking at now?
Planet Zoo.
Oh yeah, I'm down. I don't think it's coming out till next year, isn't it? Or later this year?
I think it's like later this year. I want to say it's like in the winter. Ew, big poops. Ew, he vacuumed up his big poops. I'm way more interested in like Planet Zoo than I was Planet Coaster, so.
I got Planet Coaster on sale, so I'm not complaining about
Oh,
that.
so did I. Wow, look at the cute animals. Is this a VR? Jesus Christ, chat. We all know the fucking hippos
I
do
love some of the animal shenanigans here. I mean, hippos pooing.
Nah, giraffes would win.
adorable baby elements. It's absolutely brilliant. I can't wait to play it. But before we saw the trailer, Piers mentioned this is a modern zoo, but what exactly does that mean?
So nowadays, when you go to the zoo, you're not just going to see all the lovely, pretty animals. You go there, you want to be, learning about conservation. You want to learn about the research that they're doing. You want to be educated. And these are all things that you're going to be able to do in Planet Zoo. And these ideas of the modern zoo is really what we take to heart. And we're going to be promoting, the health and the welfare of your animals as the most important thing to do.
And Piers, when can we see more gameplay, and when are we going to be able to get our hands on it ourselves?
So we're obviously demoing the game all this week at E3, but most people aren't going to be able to see that. So we've recorded our presentation. Lisa's done a fantastic voiceover for it, and we'll be releasing that onto Frontier's YouTube channel. That goes live this Friday at 11 a.m. Pacific time.
Well, fantastic. I cannot wait to watch. Thank you so much for joining us, Piers and Lisa, everyone. Next up, we have a very special guest all the way from Japan.
Please welcome to the stage gaming industry legend and Shenmue creator, Yu Suzuki.
Oh, it's Shenmue creator.
That is right. Ladies and gentlemen, joining me on the stage is a legend of Japanese game development. It's Mr. Yu Suzuki.
Hello, everyone.
In addition to being the brains behind the following games, Hang On, Space Harrier, Outrun, Afterburner, Virtual Racing, and Virtual Fighter, Yu-san also created the Shenmue series. and he's here to talk about Shenmue 3 right now. Take it away, Yusan.
この場に立てて光栄です。I am so honored to be here standing on the stage today. それと20年支えてくれたファンの皆さん、ありがとう。I just want to say thank you to all the fans supporting me for the long 20 years. Thank you very much. The wait is nearly over.
That's right. Let's take a world exclusive look at Shenmue 3.
Wait, it's coming on PC? What the fuck? I thought it was going to be PlayStation exclusive.
Honestly, I don't think your kung fu is strong enough.
Oh shit, he got called out.
Grandmaster, I...
A long time ago, martial arts were bad, but humans are interesting creatures. They
I don't know
practiced
how
in
I feel about those
secret away from
faces.
prying eyes and became stronger. One even practiced atop this very boat.
Those are like Assassin's Creed
Survived the ban
remastered
and was
faces.
passed on this way.
There's a rumor that Ubisoft is doing that this year.
Like the original?
The original, yeah.
I didn't really like the gameplay of the original.
Well, no, it would be like a full remake, not like a remaster.
Stop it.
So they're updating with like Unity's combat.
Okay.
Everyone in town is afraid of them.
Stop
This
it.
is Shenmue 3. The original Shenmue, like Shenmue 1 and 2, were like original PlayStation games, if I remember correctly. They're like super like detailed in terms of like the world.
This game looks like a fucking remaster. What the hell?
You've
Game Store.
barge in here on your own.
Well, this is what happens when your budget is based off of like an Indiegogo campaign.
I know so many people have been waiting for Shenmue 3. I would like to once again thank you so much. Thank you, Yusan, for joining us today.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Cheers, everyone.
Now our next title is near and dear to my childhood heart. It's based upon a game I grew up playing called Heroes of Might and Magic 2. Let's take a look at an upcoming collaboration between Coffee Stain Studios and Lava Potion.
Can we get a yeah, right, dude? A new Sleeping Dogs would be dope. I kind of dig the art style. I don't know why that chest was so much bigger than the house, though.
We are in dead or in living. It's near and it's far. In human.
Kind of looks like Octopath.
Yeah, a little bit. I like that the art style of the game though. I like the music.
God damn, this is a bit of a bop.
This is kind of neat.
Small mind.
Unleashed on them all during these final hours. We'll raise every bill to take back what was ours.
Whoa. Songs of Quest. Classic adventure strategy. Interesting. Songs of
The name of the game is Songs of Conquest.
First
and here
game
to
on
join
here
me
that
to
I've been
talk about it
interested
is
in
the
so
lead
far.
designer from Lava Potion, Carl
Words are hard.
Topfeld. Hey, Carl.
Hi, hey, thanks.
I mean, let's just start off for anyone who maybe
Sign
hasn't
up for
played
that
the Heroes
alpha,
of
that
Might and
seems
Magic
neat.
series. What is Song of Conquest all about?
It's all about, well, you kind of start out with in the town that you just saw in
Hey,
the,
Google.
in the trailer. And from
the
there,
fan
you
on.
recruit your wielders. It's what we call our commanders. And you recruit an army, and then you kind of send off your wielders on an adventure.
Is
And they
no
go
mobile
exploring
games?
the
Yeah,
world, they
I
pick up
agree.
resources to flag mines, and with those resources, you upgrade your
I'm gonna
town,
post this
you can
link
get more
into
stuff, and
the,
that's kind of what you do. Adventure and strategy combined.
Yeah, and you know, I know that part of the core loop is obviously get the resources to build up the township, but for what reason? Armies, man. Talk to me about those juicy battles.
Yeah, so the battle, just like the whole game, is turn-based.
So you go into combat, you bring all your troops in, and you start by
Yeah, what was
deploying
that other
them,
game
and
that I
then all
signed
the
up for,
troops have
guys?
different
I forgot
stats,
the name
like
of it already.
offense and defense and health
Sure,
and so
sure.
on. They go in initiative
Midnight
order,
Ghost
and then
Hunt.
you slug it out, and it's a bit
What's
like
the website?
chess,
It's
but instead of, like, pawns and bishops, you have, like,
songsofconquest.com.
horned ones and face spirits.
Great. And
Yeah.
griffins and
the
so
link in
on.
here for
And
you.
all those things.
And well, you know, as someone who just loves the Heroes of Might and Magic series, I know that you have translated a lot of the gameplay elements into Songs of Conquest. But what are some of the modern elements that you're bringing in?
Well, there's a lot of it, but I mean, one of them is our magic system. We call it the essence. So basically, in the Songs of Conquest universe, everything has an essence within there. It's sort of like the soul. So your troops, they have an essence. And to do magic, you need to bring the troops with the right essence, with your wielders.
Oh, I see.
So if you want to like make your troops go faster, you need to bring a troop that has that essence, like cavalry.
And maybe to ask a basic question, what if my opponent kills that cavalry?
Then you can't do the magic. So.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah. So if you're fighting someone, you kind of have to like weigh the pros and cons of what to kill off. Like, do you want to destroy their magic or their powerful troops?
Where can people go to get more information? And as always, when's it coming?
Never played them.
Late 2020.
Oh, it's quite a ways off.
It's quite a ways off, but you can go to songsofconquest.com and sign up for alpha.
Late
and then
2020?
you can play earlier.
Well, as you know, I'm
Late
really
next
looking forward
year,
to
yep.
playing it, Carl.
Wow.
Thanks for joining
All
us.
Thank you.
That's gonna be a game that I forget about before it comes out.
Now our next
You'll
title.
receive an email like,
Oh,
oh yeah,
that's
okay,
good.
Debut of a popular
Yeah.
co-op game. Let's see what's in store for Vermintide 2.
Oh, Warhammer.
Yo, I swear, like, there's a Warhammer game coming out like every other month.
Now the Total War Warhammer has a bunch of shit that's always coming out.
Yeah.
Vermintide 3, maybe?
No, he said like stuff coming to Vermintide 2. I'm assuming it's probably like an expansion or something.
Yeah. Wait.
That's a big rat boy. Oh shit.
Versus. You can play as the rat people.
Oh neat.
You just saw the reveal of the new
Yeah, that was my
PvP mode coming to
problem.
Vermintide 2, which turns the Warhammer Fantasy cooperative game into something even more brutally competitive. It looks deliciously vile, and surely dismembering Skaven is so much more satisfying when you know you're going ham on a fellow player, making him or her cry little baby rat tears behind their computer screen. You can
Right,
sign
Frankie,
up now for the
settle down there.
Vermintide 2 versus beta at vermintide2.com/versus.
Was that a
You're
Rattle
an artificial
Royale?
consciousness orbiting Mars, whose ultimate
No, it's
purpose
what,
is to
Vermintide?
terraform
4v4.
the planet, starting from a single drone in your landing site and turning the planet into a flourishing second home for humanity. Courtesy of developer Talon Industries and publisher Raw Fury, here's a first ever look at Per Aspera.
Excuse me, what was it called?
As we all know, reaching the Red Planet was not humanity's greatest achievement. Transferring the complexity of the human mind to machines was. So they can succeed where we fail. So they can build us a home on that distant, dusty rock.
Okay.
Today, Amy reaches Mars and begins their mission. Amy, are you with us?
Of course, I'm with you, Houston.
Oh, it's a resource building game. Okay, well. I'm a little less interested now. Pure SP.
In the Assassin's Creed universe, our next guest sent players back in time to rewrite history. But for his debut project with indie studio Panache Digital Games, he's going to take us back 10 million years to where humanity
Oh, it's
began.
the evolution
Here
game.
to tell us all about ancestors is creative director and co-founder
I
Therese
thought this
Deslay.
was Amsterdam
Welcome, Therese.
1677.
Thank
I
you
was
for
about to
having me.
freak the
Really
fuck
happy
out.
to be here. I've been waiting 10 years
Yes.
to come back on a big stage at E3 showing off a game.
Well,
Too bad
it's
this game
fantastic
looks
to have
incredibly
you back. I just
boring.
want to ask, what inspired you to tell the story of human evolution?
Well, when I started Panache, I needed a game, an open world game in which you can do a lot of things. You need a character in a 3D environment at first. And I said, oh, I'm the historical guy, I'm the historical dude, so I need an historical period. So I said, oh, let's go back at the very beginning. It'll be easier to do, because I won't have to build a city, I won't have to build technology, and I was a bit naive, because we built Africa 10 million years ago. And that's not easy to build.
It doesn't sound easy. I mean, how have you turned those themes into gameplay?
Well, you play our last common ancestor, right, of all the big apes, and then you have to explore your environment, and eventually you expand your territory, you expand your clan, because you're not playing that one badass character. You play a group of badass character. And eventually you evolve into different species, up until Lucy the Australopithecus roughly 2 million years ago.
I imagine our ancestors had a lot
Evolution.
more issues to deal with than we do today. There's going to be a lot more dangers in this world. So
My
tell me a bit
issue
more
with
about
this
those.
game is
Well,
that like
it's
the
all
premise
about
sounds cool,
from
but
a
what's the
prey
fucking
to
game?
a predator.
Like that's
Basically,
my
at
problem
the
with it.
beginning of the game,
What is this?
everybody is there to kill you and devour you. And basically at the end, it's pretty much you, where you're the predator and everybody's afraid of you. And that's the idea of Ancestors, the Humankind Odyssey.
So, Patrice, ultimately, what is the key to evolving your clan successfully?
Curiosity, you need to explore, because, you know, I made a game about characters and you needed to follow the story I wrote for you. This time, you're basically writing the story.
Bugs off.
Right? There's
back
no
of another ape.
story
Yeah,
per se inside. It's not about going and see mission givers. It's not about looking at the mini
Which
maps and the
primate
little
is the
dots.
best? Well, I'm just
It's
saying, if
about
a gorilla
you,
had
hey,
the,
Homo
like,
sapiens,
the mind of
can
us,
you
it would fuck
survive
us
like
up.
our ancestors did? And that's the question I'm asking the players.
He's a big
It'll
boy. He
be
beat the shit out of
for
you.
you to answer that question, August 27th.
Well, I was going
on PC first.
I was going to ask you when we can see it, and you answered my question first. Thank you so much,
getting
Patrice.
good at this.
As Patrice says, Ancestors will be released August 27th, and you can learn more at Ancestors.
Yeah, but what's the game? What is it?
You.
Oh, the Epic Game Store! Whoa! Yo, look at all those neat games. That's pretty epic.
Are they gonna spend some money making their store good soon? God damn it!
Look, you can eat bananas and climb trees.
It's like Spore, but real.
I'm sorry, fiction? We didn't come from monkeys, Greg?
What?
Fiction? Yo, this Goose game looks so much fun to play. I wanted to play that at some point. Yo, do you auto poop like an Ark? I hope so. What the golf?
Yeah, I just saw that and I kind of want it.
What will you play next? And one more thing.
Nah, we still got like an hour worth of
Yo,
gameplay.
it's...
Wait, auto chest?
This looks like a mobile game.
No, this is auto chest.
China doesn't make mobile games, Mark.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. What's wrong with you? This is just Dota.
It's literally the Dota mod auto chest, but actually a solo game.
Wow.
Please welcome to the stage Loring Lee, founder and CEO of Dragon Nest.
Dragon Nest.
Indeed, Auto Chess has turned out to be a sensation. With
Yo,
hundreds
that
of thousands,
stage with those
millions
little
of
steps
players
there just seems like a
getting
bad
taste of
idea.
it,
Like
and here to
somebody
talk
has to
about
trip
it,
eventually.
Coming to PC is Loring Lee. Take it away, Loring.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. I'm Loring Lee. Yeah.
Hi, Lori Lee.
Hello. Hello. Yeah. I'm the CEO and founder of Dragon's Game. Dragon's Game is a game developer and publisher. Comes from China. I'm so happy
Actually, I
to be
think Bart
here
was kinda freaking
today
out 'cause he
on
got
this
addicted
stage
to it.
to introduce our game, Auto Chess, to all of you. This is really an exciting moment for us. As the trailer says, this is a real engaging game of Auto Chess. Dragon's Den now is working with the creator of Auto Chess, Jodo Studio.
Do you think it's hard,
they
like,
are working together
knowing like an
to
Asian
bring
language and
Auto
then having to
Chess
translate it to
to a
English?
world, both on PC
Like the way they
and,
blend words
mobile,
and phrases
so
together
that
in like
everyone
Asian culture,
from anywhere
and then
with
having
any
to like
device
slowly
can
say
enjoy the
things
same
in
fun
English.
of Auto Chess. Now they
Yeah.
are building
It's got to
the
be
PC
super
version
difficult.
with
Well,
a
think of the
brand
ones
new
who are actually translators,
game engine of
Right.
Unreal Engine
and
4.
how they'd
Everyone
actually have
knows
to change some things
Unreal
just to
Engine
make
is
it make
one of
sense.
the best game engines of the world.
Well, you look
So
at
that's why
like
there's usually like 5 to
With the
10
help
seconds
of
between
Epic
what
Games
the person
and,
actually said and what
by
they
the
translate.
power of Unreal. I believe we can
I mean,
finish
it's
our
even
job
like,
quickly and efficiently. And today,
like going from like
I'm very
learning
glad
German,
to
like it's like
announce
going from like how we
the
just
PC
add
version
like
of Auto Chess will be
like
coming
connectors
to,
to our
the Epic
words,
Games
like
Store.
ings and
I
and
look
s's and stuff. Like they
forward.
just fucking add words together to just make one
I look
giant ass
forward
like
to
20 character
all you
word.
Playing Auto Chess on PC later this year. Okay, thank you everyone.
Thank you, Loring Lee.
Yeah, cool. Thank you.
Thanks so much for
Yeah.
sharing the news with us. Once again, Auto Chess, if you have not played it, you must check it out. It is so fun. Our next title with Frankie up above, I understand is an inspired indie game.
We'll find out, Sean, because one of the things we love about PC gaming is the way that game creators from all over the world can draw inspiration from one another's work. Chris Tales is a great example of that, a gorgeous indie love letter to classic JRPGs developed by a team in Colombia. Chris Tales' spin on the genre brings a unique perspective that lets you see the past, present, and future on one screen at the same time. So you'll see the future change based on your decisions in real time. Here's the world-exclusive reveal of Chris Tales.
This is kind of cute.
If you saw what was, what is, and what would be. If you knew how it ends. Would you change it? Could you make the hard decisions? And would you be strong enough to fight?
I know that voice actor. That's the android with a butt. 2B. Oh shit.
If you learn from the past and act in the present, you can rewrite the future.
Play the debut demo now on Steam.
And yet the game doesn't come out until next year.
In PC gaming, it's not the size of your weapon, it's how you use it. And I'm holding one of the, well quite frankly, it's a bit average, isn't it? It's just your average, you know, Glock, really. No. It's one of the ridiculous alien weapons from our next game, Valfaris. A brutal, heavy metal-infused 2D action platformer inspired by true old-school classics like Contra and Turrican.
I guess you could say it's
Assuming
not
the
very
role
big
of
if it's
fearless
2D.
warrior Therium, players must blast and slash their way through the doomed citadel of Valfaris, overcoming its deadly environments and enemies before challenging the arcane evil at its very heart. Get ready to rip the galaxy a new wormhole. From publisher Big Sugar, this is Valfaris.
glad somebody is enjoying this, Pat.
This seems like a Doom game if I've ever seen one. Mainly because of the music.
Right,
but
right. Yo, that's a big Mac.
Just incredible action in the Valporis trailer. I'm very excited for our next guest. In case you have not been in downtown LA, E3 is covered with Borderlands 3 art. It's amazing, it's beautiful. And joining me is the amazing and beautiful Paul Sage, creative director of Borderlands 3.
Beautiful's the new one, thanks.
Yeah, there you go, Paul. Welcome. I mean, there's been so
telling
much
me what
hype around
happens to any
Borderlands
fucking
3. What's
magic
the stuff
tricks
you're
this
really
show?
excited to be sharing this year at E3?
Oh man, so
Yeah,
we
there's a
talked
reason
about our
Mandy's
vault
not here.
hunters. Well, this time we get to talk about Mose, and she is our gunner vault hunter. So
Yeah.
she has a big mech. So it's one of the things all about loot. We're talking about the different loot such as shields, grenades, those
Yeah.
things going to different planets. So a lot of stuff to talk about.
Well, I mean, I want to start right off with Mose. Tell us everything you can about her.
Okay, yes, I'll tell you everything I can. So Mose, again, like I said, she's a mech pilot. She has this big mech. It's called Iron Bear. She gets into Iron Bear.
Yeah.
We have
JP's
multiple
chat
action
is just
skills,
all,
which means that she can
root
equip
hog.
either a minigun or a railgun or a flamethrower. If you want to barbecue your enemies, something like that.
Oh,
So,
nice. Mix and match.
Yeah, Mose is a terrifically fun character for us right now.
Now, we've been excited to be collating a whole bunch of community questions. We're going to break them into two categories. First, there's a whole bunch of repeat questions that I want to make sure we get to right now. One of the big categories is about loot, because you've mentioned having a billion guns earlier, but what can you tell us about some of the other gear, the other progression systems right in the game?
So let's talk about grenades. Like one of my favorite things that we don't get to talk about a lot.
Flak
so in
is
the past,
mine.
we've had
I
grenades,
called
they
it
have,
when
like,
it
one
first
thing,
was
they can bounce,
announced.
They can stick to different things, Yeah. This time we're combining like all of those things. So for instance, the other day I was playing and I threw a grenade and that grenade had a bounce, it would stick, an explosion would come out, and the grenade would fire guns as it was going
Yo, look
through,
at the
right?
look
So
at the
we
poll
have,
right
like,
now.
a ton of different grenades that are in there.
Actually, see? Oh.
No, I was saying F because of the
Shield where if you duck, that shield will extend out in front of you, so just tons of different things that we have with our characters. Class mods,
Is the
mods are
stream like
unique,
dying
and
for
they
anyone else?
give you
It
skills
died
this
there
time
for a
as well as
second.
enhancing the skills you currently have.
I also remember earlier you mentioned about artifacts. What are
seems
those?
popular.
So artifacts are, we've kind of concentrated on like,
Playing
hey,
Mose.
does the game feel
I was
fluid?
only going to
Can I,
play
slide
Flak
into
because
things? Can I jump? Can I
I
mantle?
played
Right.
Mordecai
So
in
we were playing
first,
with it,
then
we slid into a barrel,
Zero,
the barrel exploded. We're
mainly
like,
in the second.
well, that's kind of fun.
And
So
it just
why don't
works
we
out
do
going
something like
Flak,
that? So
so it's
our
also
artifacts actually
lighter number
add
combo.
certain things to movement. So for instance, you can slide faster. You can slide, and every time you slide,
Yeah,
there's an
stream's
explosion. We have
dying.
something we call
No, stream. Why are you being dumb?
Second category of questions unrelated to loot. Well, there's going to be a single-player campaign. Be happening after the campaign. What are some of the beyond the single player, maybe end game?
Yo, Gearbox has like the worst
in-game
fucking
content.
luck,
Okay,
man.
well, it's E3, so I get a little bit.
The
So we
patch
have
When it comes to
screen
streams.
breaks, the
Guardian system. So for
Microsoft
those people
one
who played
broke,
Borderlands
this
before, you
one's
might remember
breaking.
Badass ranks. Badass ranks, you can get, it's basically kind of an infinite progression system that added to your stats.
Yeah.
We doubled down on that. We have what we call Guardian rank. And Guardian rank not only has that infinite progression, but it has skills and different skins that you can open up as you go through. And the cool thing about that is like every character that you play on that account gets the benefits of Guardian rank.
Oh, interesting. All right, last category we're going to go through, and then we're going to hit some rapid-fire questions. How do the boss fights in Borderlands 3 compare to Borderlands 1 and 2? I know those were big aspects. How do you build upon that?
Right, so I think of a boss fight.
Yeah, I like the
I'm
badass
an old
name a
school
lot better
Nintendo
personally,
fan, right?
but
So
I kinda
love
get
huge
why they
boss
changed
fights that
it.
have,
It's
like,
more
fire phases
marketable.
and stuff like that. So now those people, smart people in the audience know that we've talked about going to vaults instead of vault, right? And so there are different, like, huge boss encounters there that are just, multi-phase boss
Lots of
encounters.
more
We
bosses
have,
to
like,
farm
a lot of
as
different
well.
mini bosses throughout the game. So a lot of different boss encounters throughout the game.
Well, now I want to ask some really quick questions that should be yes or no, very brief. First from Castoray. How will you be handling multiplayer?
Multiplayer, we will basically be allowing anybody to jump in at any time. So
awesome. From MHL Animations. Can I pet the gun? Great question.
I'm not here to judge what you do with your gun, so that's a personal question.
All right, great. Sam Wiseman asks, is Maya's new companion a siren? People are asking the right questions. That's what I will say about that.
Oh, you tease.
I'm sorry. All right, from Ironic Sanguine says, is Tiny Tina going to be seen fighting alongside the Vault Hunters? Yes. Nice. All right, I'm just going to blast through a couple more as fast as I possibly can. What's the level cap at launch? 50. Will we get to see Flak? Yes. Will we see golden keys and or shift codes for Borderlands 3? Absolutely. Will there be duels? Yes. Other kinds of PvP? Yes and no. And also maybe.
Yeah,
Perfect.
maybe, yeah.
And will you be able to transfer weapons between your characters? Absolutely, right from the start. Perfect. And when is the damn game coming out? Friday the 13th, 2019, September 13th. Perfect.
Do I or do I not book that day off?
For more information.
Yo,
Thanks so much
all
for
I
joining me
know
on
is that
stage.
I
Sean. Thank
am.
you.
No,
Once
wait.
again, if you have not
I won't
seen
book
all the
Friday
things in
off, but I'll
downtown
book the
Borderlands City,
Saturday
it's
off.
beautiful.
Wait, 2018?
Our next game, we're going to be revisiting a guest
Wait a
that we saw
minute, it should
earlier
already
in the
be
show.
out.
He's
Where's my
upstairs with
Borderlands
Frankie.
3?
Yeah, get it
goddammit?
over here.
Schedule flag.
Oh.
Let's see
Oh,
here.
hi, we're live. Sorry. Hello, I was
We're on.
just, I was actually testing out my outfit for this weekend. I don't know, what do you think, John?
I think you look really sharp, as always.
Very sharp. Well, thank you so much.
Look
John Gibson,
really
president of Tripwire,
sharp.
Thank you for joining us again on the show.
Yeah, I'm very excited to be
busy
here.
man, yes.
Yes.
Now, last year, we revealed
Is she gonna do the baby
Man-Eater
shark
to
thing?
the world. And can you remind anyone who missed it what the
Is
game's
she
all
gonna
about?
do it?
Absolutely. Maneater is an open world action RPG, or Shark PG as we call it. You
Right.
start as
A
a small baby
Shark
shark pup,
PG.
and you have to
Saturday
survive
the
in this harsh
14th
world
is
and
booked
try
off.
to eat your way to the top of the ecosystem. The three words that we think sum the game up the best are eat, explore, and evolve. And we also have some.
Well, the game will launch at midnight
Well,
on
let's
Thursday.
meet him then. Let's take a look at the new
Yeah,
trailer.
I know.
Guaranteed. Well, I say guaranteed, but it is launching on the Epic Games Store. So,
Well, I'm doing it the Saturday because then I'll work the Friday. Like I'll close, I'll have like a day if I don't have classes, and then what's it called? All day
what
Saturday.
is this game?
Did you ever play the Jaws game?
No.
I'm pretty much thinking it's exactly like that.
Come any closer with that
Hey, where's
camera,
my
we two
boat?
gonna tussle.
Yo, what the fuck? Why is he shooting at 800 ISO? What the fuck?
Didn't they show this last year?
Maybe?
I remember that something showing the Shark game recently.
Oh no, not Fred!
John, who was that appallingly dressed
Press
fisherman in the
F to
trailer?
respect
Because
the
quite
shark.
frankly, not even I would eat him.
That was Scaly Pete.
Press F to
and
respect
Scaly
the
Pete's
shark.
the villain in this tale.
F.
Pete is a best fisherman in the Gulf, the best shark fisherman, or he'll tell you he's the best shark fisherman. And he disfigures our baby shark at the beginning of the game and does some really nasty things. So he's not a very nice guy. And now the story of Maneater is told through the lens of a reality show called Shark Hunters versus Maneaters. And it follows Pete and the player shark on its adventures. And you know, it's a really, you know, it's a very exciting way to tell a story.
And based on that trailer, to be honest, John, it looks like your main goal of the shark is to just bite everything.
Yeah, there is an awful lot of man-eating going on in this game. That is the name of the game. And but we'd like to think of the game as a shark-tastic fun action game. It's like GTA if you were a shark. But there's there is more to the game than just eating. So we spent a lot of time moving through the water, breaching out, and adding abilities to go up on the beach for an afternoon snack. There's a lot of exciting things that you can do in the game.
Do you think the devs are
And you
afraid of
mentioned
sharks?
before it's a shark PG. How does that progression system work?
So there's three facets
Probably.
to the Shark PG elements of the game. There's growth, there's life phases, and there's evolutions. So growth comes about through eating things, nutrients, people, whatever you can find. And that's kind of like your XP in the game. That allows you to level up, your shark will grow a little bit, you'll get more powerful. And then at key phases that we call life phases, you'll make a big jump. So let's say you're a brooding teenage shark, and you're about to become an adult. When you become an adult, you take a big leap in size, a big leap in power and capability. And then as you reach these life phases, you unlock evolutions that can be applied to parts of the shark's body. For example, you could get metallic teeth that allow you to shred boats, or a powerful tail that allows you to jump to incredible heights, or you could get mutated lungs that allow you to spend a little more time on the beach getting those afternoon snacks.
Just really quickly, John, everyone's wanting to know this question. When's it coming out?
So we're really hard hammerheading away at this game and trying to make it the most awesome
Hammerheading.
Shark RPG ever. We're not ready to announce a date, but we're pretty certain you're going to see it before the next PC Gaming Show.
Well, I hope we do, John. Otherwise, I'm going to have to start biting people. In fact, I'm quite hungry at the moment, so I think actually I'm going to find an audience member because you guys look tasty. So I'll see you in a bit. I'm just going to have a snack. Thank you, John.
Oh, thank you.
Wow, a chair. Though, I mean, to be fair, I have to get a new chair here pretty soon. These whole pillows behind me for like lumbar support, they don't work. It's the PewDiePie chair.
You know, one of the absolute best parts about being sponsored by iWin for the PC Gaming Show is that I get to sit for this next segment and talk to you about Terraria. Terraria is one of the best-selling PC games of all time, selling almost 30 million copies. And part of the reason why it's maintained such popularity is the fact that the developers Relogic continue to add content, going from 250 items at release to now over 4,000. Let's take a look at their penultimate expansion coming up, Terraria Journey's End.
Terraria?
Terraria.
Didn't they stop development on this game at one point and then it was like, heck you?
I don't know.
No clue, but I'm down for this.
And then they kept adding shit and now it's one of the best games ever that no one ever plays anymore.
I just remember when this game was consistently like
Golf?
compared to Minecraft.
Oh, champ. Cake, I know what you're staying up server-wise next. F3.
Oh. Dead. I'm gonna refresh this here, boys.
Is that a giant What is that? Oh no, it broke.
By Annapurna Interactive, and joining me to talk about it is game
The
director
video broke.
Sam
They just
Barlow
cut it
and
off.
actor
Yeah,
producer
their
Logan
Terraria
Marshall
video
Green.
broke, so they had to
Thank you.
stop it.
Yeah.
Yep.
My main man.
Now,
I'm in there.
if you haven't played Her Story, you totally should. It's fantastic. I want to note, it is a game where you watch live interactive video in order to uncover what happened with a murder. What is it that's going on in Telling Lies? What's the premise?
So, like Her Story, Telling Lies is a game in which you watch video footage to piece together a story. And this time we have a woman who has stolen an NSA hard drive, which contains secretly recorded, intimate and private conversations between our four characters. Something has gone terribly wrong, and it's up to you to figure out what and why.
It's time to take a look at some of the
That
gameplay
sounds
mechanics and see
interesting.
Telling Lies in action. Let's take a look.
Once upon a time.
It's late. I gotta get her in the bath. I don't love you and I don't miss you. You already know too much. It's late. I gotta get her in the bath. Alright, love you. Love you.
Whoa.
I've only ever been in love once. It was with a girl I met when I was 18, but I was too young and naive to handle it properly. I guess I still carry a torch for her, which makes me a incurable
Yeah,
romantic
it can be either.
underdeveloped emotionally.
I mean, it's really just has to lie in the backbone of the actors if they're gonna be convincing. Yo, is the one girl like a camp girl? Is that what I'm seeing?
Oh, Sam, I got some questions for you about what we've just seen. Talk to me about the mechanics. I mean, I saw, the subtitles up, highlighting, and it was loading more video footage. What's going on?
So what we do in Telling Lies is we take all of the exploration you would have in a normal video game. So all that walking around in a 3D world.
Yeah.
And we apply that directly to the story, to the footage itself. So you're going to be scrubbing around in these clips, paying close attention, and you're going to be picking up on the subtext, listening to names, people, places. And with that information, you're going to use that to find more clips, dig into those, and over time kind of build up this picture of the story. And it's truly like an open world video game.
Well, I mean, a lot of times with open world video games, they talk about, the square kilometerage or miles in America. What's the sort of scope that we're talking about? Like, how many hours of footage is there?
So we got like over 10 hours of footage here.
Wow,
So
really?
It's a story that encompasses like 2 years. What I wanted to do with this one was, like I say, really embrace this idea of it being an open world game. You're free to explore and follow your curiosity. Just lose yourself in this story, all the characters. It's this huge, messy, colorful story that we're trying to tell.
Well, I'm curious, Logan, as a performer in this kind of game, what is it like to actually try to have all the layers in there for each performance, also not knowing when a player is going to be seeing the specific footage you're performing?
Well, it's definitely a non-linear open world game, but our approach and Sam's approach was not unlike a movie or a TV show, and we had to understand it A to B. And so for the most part, that's how we shot it. Obviously, when you're shooting a movie or a TV show, and in this case, a game, you're going to be shooting out of order. But we actually stayed pretty linear in how we approached the story. We went after it like all the other times we're actors. We just went after intention and what do we want, and we tried to make it as deep. It's got a lot of scope.
Yeah.
But we wanted to make it as deep as possible, and Sam is one of the best movie or TV directors I've worked with, so it was very similar.
Nice. Yeah, look at you too. Yeah. Now, of course, I do want to stress to any of you, if you have not played Her Story,
I think what they mean by open world
it's
is
quick
that
to play
it's
through.
not
It's absolutely brilliant.
linear
Please check it out in
based,
the
like it's-
meantime. But
You can go
of course,
anywhere
wait
in
to find out when can we
terms of
play
like
Telling
footage.
Lies.
Very soon, I promise. We'll have a date soon. Right now, you can go to Steam. You can wishlist it on Steam. We all love Steam. And yeah, very soon. We'll be showing a little bit more during E3, and the game will be out, very soon.
Fantastic.
Desperate to get it out there.
Yeah.
And people to play it.
As soon as humanly possible.
Yeah.
Well, Sam Logan, thanks so much for joining me on
It's
stage. Once again, Telling Lies.
Do they have a URL?
Now, up on the balcony,
Okay.
Frankie's going to be talking to us about a game that my friends, year after year after year, keep telling me I have to play because of how much they've improved it. Frankie, what's going on with Warframe?
Well, one of my favorite parts of last year's show, aside from being upstaged by a giant duck, was getting a glimpse at the future of Warframe. And here with the latest look at the next expansion to the universe is Space Mum Rebecca Ford. So, chat, behave yourselves, please, because Mother's here. Now, Rebecca, what are we about to see?
We're going to take a look at an amazing trailer that our team has put together. A lot of our players have been waiting a year for a look at what we've been calling Railjack, so it's about time to, see what we've been doing.
Yeah, let's take a look.
I'll add that to a wish list. That game seems pretty neat.
Here we go. This is my kind of game that I put 1,000 hours into.
You know my big issue with Warframe? Is that it costs so much money to do cool shit.
You can prime parts to get premium currency.
Alright, you know my problem with Warframe? Is that
Farming?
it costs so much money, or you have to farm for so many fucking hours to do cool shit.
I gotta have dedication.
Yeah, and I don't got that.
Just like how I have so much dedication in Borderlands right now.
Necros.
Ooh, new
He was
Warframe.
kind of neat.
Rebecca, it must be so exciting to
Wait,
know
no,
that
that's
the
just
fans have
Necros
finally
Prime.
seen it, and you're clearly going all in on the
I hate
epic
Necros, it's
space
terrible.
combat. So tell me
Yeah,
about
you
the
get
new
it
stuff
free
players are going to
if
be
you
able to
watch
watch.
it.
I
Warframe,
wasn't
though.
shaking before we started talking, and now I am.
Bad
It's real
Warframe.
because, you know, Empyrean is what we're
Yours
calling
is
codename
for-
Railjack.
yours
It's
farming.
basically taking the space
No one
ninja
likes
part
to
of
use his
Warframe,
Necros
sending it back up to
legitimately.
space, bringing players
You're
that
a bad
squad
Warframe,
gameplay they know,
Greg.
taking the enemies
I'm
like
not
the
a
Corvus and the
Warframe,
Grineer,
though.
giving them their own Railjack to essentially explore the solar system with and take down the bad
You're a
guys.
bad Tenno.
And when are fans going to get to see more?
Not a Tenno.
Well,
Necros has
TennoCon
been in
is
the
in
game
London,
for a
Ontario.
while.
It's July
I remember
6th, and you can
Necros.
come watch it online on Twitch. We're going to
I'm
be
assuming
showing
this
a
is
lot
just the
more
Prime
in our
variant of
keynote
it.
for what Empyrean
I
is
mean,
going
unless
to
it
be.
comes with a
Well,
rework
stay and
with
get
that
filthy
Prime.
suit. So what's the deal with that
I don't know
sweet
about
looking
that.
Necros Prime? How do I get my
Your
Tenno
face
arms
needs a
into it?
rework.
I
seems like
cannot
that
say that
Prime
on live
is shit,
television, but you know,
Whoa.
there are ways. But yeah, you just have
I'm
to
about to
watch
say
your
that,
Warframe
Jordan.
account to your Twitch account. If you watch 30 minutes of our Tenno live show, you can get it, but hopefully you stay for the whole hour because we got lots to show.
Well, thank you so much, Rebecca, and good luck with TennoCon on July 6th.
Thank you.
Okay, now we've seen some amazing stuff today, but nothing quite so gloriously strange as our next game. Developed by Brooklyn-based studio Feral Cat Den, it's an existential-based jazz odyssey set during the Big Bang. Yeah, it's actually blown my mind learning about this one. Buckle up, everyone, because we're about to get bonkers with Genesis Noir.
What? What is this game?
Is this how humans were made?
By Sweet Sweet Jazz. This seems like an acid trip.
How do we know the devs weren't on acid when they made it?
Isn't that like poetic justice? Guns were the thing that brought us into the world and are also taking us out of the world.
You right.
Seems interesting.
Genesis Noir, just beautiful
Greg,
stylish
how much
art.
iridium is too much
The next game
iridium?
we're going to take a look at is
on
the twist
person at one point?
on the stealth genre. It's
I
called
don't
El
know. I
Hijo,
don't
where you play
play
as a
Borderlands.
6-year-old trying to escape a monastery and find your mother,
I feel like I have too
mother
much on
using
me.
toys and tricks to avoid monks. Let's take a look at this gorgeous spaghetti western inspired project from Studio
Spaghetti Western.
I have 330 on me. Are there guns made out of spaghetti?
Or at least he got to keep his poncho.
Yeah.
I could be into this. Oh no! Oh, he flirting. know there's a lot of Resident Sleepers right now, but I actually kind of dig this. El Hero? Hero?
El Hijo, once again, is the title of the trailer we just saw.
Definitely pulling a fast one on
For
me
our
there.
final guest tonight, please join me in welcoming from Larian Studios CEO Sven Vinke, and from Dungeons & Dragons at Wizards of the Coast, the creative director of Dungeons & Dragons, Mike Mearls, to talk about Baldur's Gate 3. Yeah! Now, this was only just recently announced. How did this partnership come about?
We went to see Wizards of the Coast at the end of Divinity Original Sin 1.
Yeah.
That was back in 2014. And I tried to convince them back then that they should give us the Baldur's Gate 3 license. And they said, yeah. But we had a long chat about what the vision would be for the game. And then we kept on bumping into each other. And then suddenly in 2016, I get a phone call from Nathan Stewart, who's the big boss of Mike and the head of Dungeons & Dragons. He said, you need to come to Seattle right away. We're going to have dinner in a very shady restaurant. And he had this big stack of paper with him. And on it was Baldur's Gate 3. And in it was pretty much everything that we talked about. And he says, I'm going to present this to my board. Do you still want to do it? I said, yeah, of course I still want to do it. And then a couple of weeks later, we started negotiating. And here we are.
I mean, what does the Baldur's Gate franchise mean to you, Mike?
Oh, to me, it's the crown jewel of D&D computer games, right? I mean, for me personally, Baldur's Gate, the original one, was finally I had the chance to actually play a D&D campaign rather than having to run them for all my friends. So it means so much to us. Baldur's Gate, it's such fantastic storytelling.
Yeah, I feel bad for
it's
people
so
that
exciting
get
to
stuck
see
in
it
those
come
positions.
to not only a new generation of gamers, but for
like they're always the
gamers who
the dungeon
remember
master
the
and they don't
20
actually
years
get to play.
it's been since the original, the first two in the series. So it's incredibly exciting. And for us, it really is. It's such an important part of the D&D mythos as a whole.
And we got a chance to see the trailer. Talk to me about some of the story elements, the world elements. What are things we're going to see in Baldur's Gate 3?
Well, we're only talking about what's in the trailer right now, but obviously you're going to go to the city, because we start with the city. You start outside of the city, actually. There's going to be mind flayers. They're very nasty. You are seeing in the trailer the process of ceremorphosis, as we would call it. It's accelerated, so that's not normal.
Yeah.
And you're going to see a lot of iconic creatures, iconic characters, iconic places, and that's as far as we go.
I'm curious about some of the gameplay elements, because obviously, there's just been a big resurgence of Dungeons & Dragons, tons of broadcasts on Twitch. I mean, how do you translate some of the insane things that players want to do into, what has to be a structured computer game?
So we started with the Player Handbook, which is basically the basic rule set of Dungeons & Dragons.
Which Player Handbook? Which
Fifth edition.
Right. Yeah.
And so we ported as much as we could to the video game. We looked at what worked really well. We looked at the things that didn't work that well, because it is a video game, and this was made for tabletop gaming. And so we started modifying those things, and then we had to add things on top of it, because if you play tabletop, you have a game master, and you say, well, I want to do this.
Yeah.
And then the
I
game
want to
master
start a fight with a pigeon. And he's like, okay, roll for dexterity.
Exactly, that's it. So we had to add systems to make that possible within the game. But we've gone very, very far.
Yeah, I mean, can you give an example of like a crazy moment that a player might do that you could actually play out in the game?
Well, I could, let's say that we get into a fight because you ask a nasty question, I don't want to answer it. And I take the chair over there, I put it on fire, smash it on your head. Well, just as an example.
That's just an example, this is fine, we're just talking,
These are things that we have to put systems into the game for to do it, which are not necessarily going to be described inside of the book.
Interesting. And I mean, like, Mike, in terms of your role, speaking to Larian Studios, you have tons of data of all the sorts of things that players do. What's the sort of information that you provide in assistance?
Well, really what it comes down to is providing the story.
Why are they
support.
saying
We
which
think of Dungeons
RPG was the
Dragons,
best in the
universe
last
of
10 years,
D&D.
and Mass Effect Andromeda
It's
isn't
like
up
a
there?
toy box for dungeon masters and players to go into and build their own stories. So working with Larry and working with
Why
Ben,
is Dragon
a lot of it was
Age
just
2 on
opening
that
up
list?
toy box and sharing.
What the Okay,
only
fuck?
1% of them
like
agree
I
with
remember
it.
one of our first meetings, we just laid out a map of Baldur's
That's
Gate.
literally the worst Dragon Age.
Like, what kind of story do you want to tell? Where do we want to go? What are the cool locations we've always wanted to put into a game like this? And then in terms of the system support, what does it mean in terms of the story for each character, for each character race, each character class, so that if you have your favorite class and it's in the game, you really feel like you're taking on that role that you love so much from the tabletop. It's really coming to life in an authentic way in Baldur's Gate 3.
And we're going to talk in a moment about, Baldur's Gate 3 release dates and whatnot, but we have a second game that we want to talk about on a new technology known as pencil and paper. I understand that there is a tabletop prequel coming for Baldur's Gate.
Exactly. So in Baldur's Gate, we think there's one saga, all the different games coming together to tell one grand story of this city. So on September 17th, we're releasing our next tabletop campaign, Baldur's Gate: Descent into Avernus, and it is the next chapter in the Baldur's Gate saga, and it's a prequel to Baldur's Gate 3. So if you haven't played a Baldur's Gate game since Baldur's Gate 1 or 2, this is your chance to check out on the history. It's been about 100 years since the events of Baldur's Gate 2. Yeah. So this will give you a chance to check in on the city, to see what's going on, its current state, who the movers and shakers are. We also feature a complete levels 1 to 13 campaign that takes you from the mean streets of Baldur's Gate to the depths of hell itself. And sort of pose to the players a question: do you want to redeem Baldur's Gate or send it to damnation? So we're putting that right in players' hands to make that choice.
Well, I have to ask Sven, it's a question on a lot of people's minds. What can you talk to us about expected release time frames?
So people have been waiting for it for a long time.
Yeah.
They're going to have to wait a little bit more when it's ready. This is the game that we want to play, so we want to make sure it's really, really good. And then when that's the case, then we'll release it.
Well, I know a lot of people have been waiting a long time, and I think I speak for a lot of people here when I say, take your time. If the Divinity Original Sin games are any indication of the quality, it's going to be fantastic and worth the wait. Gentlemen, thanks so much for joining me on stage.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Ben and Mike talking about Baldur's Gate 3.
That one guy sounded like,
Goodbye.
I thought that was you talking,
Goodbye,
Greg.
guys.
Or not
Why
Greg,
are they
Chef.
leaving? Well, it's because the PC
I thought the
gaming
one guy
show
sounded
has
like he was
officially
like, thank you. I thought you were
concluded.
saying
Let's
thank you.
Bring up on the stage the fantastic Frankie Ward. Come here, Frankie.
Hello. Well, thank you so much, Sean. Hasn't this audience been absolutely fantastic today?
Guys, thank you so much for coming out to the 5th annual PC Gaming Show.
Oh, this is the 5th?
We want to give an enormous thanks to all of you who tuned in live. We want to, of course, thank all of you who personally showed up this morning, and of course the sponsors who helped make this possible. Epic Game Store, iWin, Frontier, Funcom, Paradox Interactive, Hovercast, Perfect World, Rebellion, Tripwire, and Samsung. As you know, PC gaming is a platform. It's not a publisher or developer, so these sponsors are essential for letting us put on this show every year. Thank you so much. And I gotta ask Frank, any titles you're excited about?
Well, I do love a baby elephant, so definitely Planet Zoo, and slightly more awkwardly then I also want to eat things, maybe elephants included, so Man-Eater, of course.
I'm personally looking forward to Songs of Conquest, and as you heard, there's games coming out all across 2019 and into 2020. We hope you all have a fantastic E3. It officially begins tomorrow. Big shout out to all the other press conferences. Hello again, Drop Frames. Good to see you 2 years in a row. We hope you all have a fantastic time at E3
don't talk to
and
streamers.
go play some games and make some friends. See you next year. Bye, bye, bye.
Thank you so much. Goodbye.
We'll talk to Baru, Coco.
What about me? Why didn't you say hi to me?
And JP.
I'm a streamer.
Yeah, but you're not an important streamer.
Yeah.
Think she can't get
It's
a
fair washed up
last-second
here.
clutch? Watch
Yep.
this. Think he
The
can't
guy who
carry his
streams like
team
3
while
times a
streaming
year.
in high resolution? All the
And
while
all 3 of them
recording a once
revolve
in a
around
lifetime
E3.
win?
Yeah, they usually do.
Watch this. Think leveling up only happens
Whoa,
in
look at
game?
him.
Watch
That's
this.
how you. Then when I
On
win,
Intel
I
Core
just get a
i7,
little.
They'll rise to every
little shimmy
challenge.
on my
Now
desk.
it's your turn. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7.
All right. Well, I'm gonna end the stream. I'll be back around 3:45.
Yo, I'm playing that